Oh, so that's brutal because at this point, I think the first time I ever saw you, I'd seen you for the first time ever perform in a stadium.
Yeah,
so you've already opened, like, because you were opening for Jim Jeffries.
Yeah. I went from literally Rod Laver Arena to the Murray Bridge High.
Jeez, what a fall from grace.
And got absolutely toasted by this
Comedy
child.
has its ups and downs, doesn't it?
No, but that's why there's no room for ego in stand-up. Like you will do, I did that in 1 month. I did like O2 Arena, Madison Square Garden, Rod Laver Arena, all with Jim.
Yeah.
And then Murray Bridge High.
Yeah.
And then you do like another gig to like 19. It's like, it is what it is.
Yeah. Yeah, for sure.
What's it like doing? I know this is an obvious question, but like, what's it like doing an arena? Is it weird because you can't hear the laughter as much?
No, the laughter you hear, it's just the best.
Deafening?
Oh, I love it.
Which one was the best?
I liked Madison Square Garden the best just because the day was, we drove in, we did sound check at the Garden, you get a slice of pizza, you know, you like, it really grows in you at the fucking Garden.
It's crazy.
Did the gig, it went well, and then the Wu-Tang Clan were there.
Oh.
And they were like fist bumping, like that was funny. Russell Crowe came over, he was like, that was very funny, mate.
Sick.
And then
every Australian in New York would have
just came out to see Jim, right?
Yeah.
And then we went and watched Billy Joel, like in one of his final concerts.
It's the most New York day of
It was
all
just
time.
the most exactly perfect. And then like, you know, we stayed out, we had a big night, and you just look at those gigs. And I always say this to Jim, I'm like, that is the best day of my life. And that was me supporting you.
Yeah.
You know, like how good must you feel? Like I just did 15 minutes, your name on the bill, but he didn't even really enjoy it that much because I remember he was still angry because they used a photo of him, like the press photo on the billboard. We were walking and he just saw it. He's like, why the fuck did they use that photo? He's like, I hate that photo.
Yeah.
And like we're about to walk on stage at the Garden and he's still muttering to me like, fucking cunts. They've ruined this. And I'm like, dude, you're performing at the Garden. He's like, nah.
So funny.
But that's like all the greats I know, and no, they're never like satisfied. It's got to keep.
I mean, I guess that's the only way you get there. When you become satisfied, you're like, oh, this is pretty good. You know, that might be all you get to.
But I sometimes think, I'm like, if I did die, like if I stopped comedy, I'll be like, well, I have done some cool venues, but it's not. You can get a big ego because you open for someone at like you're like, man, I've done the O2. It's like, well, because Jim always says that to me, like I'll run long before him, I'll meant to do a 15, I'll do like a 20.
Yeah.
You know, and I'm like milking it.
Yeah.
And we get side of stage and I remember one time he said to me at Rod Laver, he goes, you think if they said, oh, Jim's sick and you'll just have more of Amos, they'd be happy?
Yeah.
He's like, you fucking think that? He's like, you think if I wasn't here, you'd be on one of the show courts, like at the Australian Open complex performing to 9 people. He's like, cunt, watch this. And he just like walked on and murders for like 90 minutes. And
Luke and I saw both.
I think we went to both of them.
The arena ones, and it was like that, and then also going to America and seeing like American comics who've been doing it for decades was like, oh, I had no idea you could even get that good.
Seeing the store for the first time, like all the Comedy Cellar in New York, I was like, just like go there and just be in all your old shit. It made me feel like so bad. Like you come here and you crush with like at the Comic Sans with like some stuff that's pretty good, and then you see like guys like Louis C.K. and stuff murder for like half an hour. Man, D'Elia, I've never seen anyone crush a room harder than D'Elia and Santino.
Then you look at your own gear and you're like
Jesus Christ,
fucking quit, you piece of shit.
How did you go at the store? You've done the store.
Well, I worked up to the store. Like there's like a system. Yeah, like they do. I remember because to get on, there's like it's like a proper process. It's Monday night, and then it's like you're an open spot. Then they call development spots. Yeah. So you actually go up the tiers. Then if you're on a development spot and you're doing well,
and there's no shortcuts.
No shortcuts. They don't give a fuck who you like. I had D'Elia, Jim, like all go, you know, they'll vouch for him. They're like, don't care. You have to start.
Yep.
And then you work your way to like regular. Then you're paid regular. And if you're a paid regular, everyone gets an email who's a paid regular. And they're like, congratulations, welcome to the family. And then you call in like an office and you get your slot times. You get a car park. You get a chair you can sit on.
Cool.
Well, I didn't even realize when I started. I went and sat in one of the showrooms on a chair and they're like, get up. I was like, why? The room's empty. They're like, that's a paid regular seat and you're not a paid regular. And some people,
That's so American.
Some people hate that, but I love hierarchies.
Cool.
I'm like, I like to work.
Something to achieve.
Yeah, if you do well enough, you can sit on a torn leather chair.
So where did you get to?
I got to development slots, so I was like opening the shows, and then COVID happened.
You pretty much have to live there to like get to be a paid regular at those places.
For sure. No, they want you to like hang out there all the time. But it's amazing.
So is that your goal to like move on from Australia and kind of do what gyms done? Because
Yeah.
I kind of have this
I think so.
this thing where I'm like, I really feel like skill wise, there's a limit to how good you can get here because there's just not enough gigs.
Not enough gigs, not enough competition. Like when you're on at the store and you know that Chappelle might come on after you, or you know, you got like Tim Dillon and Theo Von or whatever, or Segura.
Yeah.
You're like, yeah, maybe I gotta go up a level,
Yeah.
or I'm gonna be fucking embarrassed.
Yeah.
You know, like if I don't improve here, you know, if you're in Comics Lounge, you very rarely are like, oh no, Limo's gonna blow me away here.
Well, it's true because no, but
Like, no offense to Limo, like he's a good.
I mean,
You're gonna get us in trouble.
No, it's like I like Chappelle a lot,
yeah,
and
yeah.
I think Chappelle is a better comedian than Limo.
also, I think-
would anyone in the comments disagree? If there's anyone who's like, I stand Limo over Chappelle,
no, but I think there's a
and
reason.
I love you, Anthony Lehman.
Yeah.
But like even me, like, do I compare to Chappelle? Fuck off. None of us do.
Yes.
So you'd lift.
But I think there's a reason in Australia as to why the standard's not as good in general is because you have to have a side hustle to make a living. You have to do radio or TV as a comedian if you want to just do comedy.
You got to do like Kia commercials.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So
there's like, you know, if you're fucking Dave Hughes, you could do the Comics Lounge, I don't know, a few times a week,
Yeah.
and get paid.
Yeah.
It's like, you know, you're not paying rent off
but
that.
like in America, you do a tour. We can do what? There's 5 cities here. You can do 50 when you're there, and then even in California, there's like 4 different spots you can go to. You know, the actual bit of LA,
And there's like a
San
good-
Francisco, San Diego, like.
Diversity of like kind of comedians in America.
That's what I noticed as well, like in New York, because Andrew Schultz kind of took me around and showed me the spots, and I ran around with him one night and did like, I didn't do them, I was just with him watching do all of the spots. And like, yeah, all of the comedians were different. And also, like, we've been told our whole lives that Australia is one of the diverse countries in the world. It's fucking not.
No.
Like, I went to New York and I was like, oh my God, like, I've never seen this many people from all different backgrounds.
Like I miss the most doing like black rooms.
Yeah.
Like when you do like an
black
all
dudes
black
laughing
room.
is crazy.
Like people like,
Yeah.
and if you bomb, like properly getting chewed out, but like if you're killing, people like really getting enthusiastic rather than in Melbourne, like, it's very good.
Yeah, like Andrew's doing some new bit about, I can't remember what, some sex bit, and that was real gross. And like he was crushing, and then like 3 black guys at the back were like, yo, this dude's crazy. Like,